choir before we leave. If you have any issues legally, what to say, what to do. So if you have any legal question or any question in that particular sense, he is the person that will be asking so that he can be able to guide us constitutionally. Hawa ndio wanaitango my learned friends. Sijui sisi wengine tunakuanga nani, lakini hawa ndio wamesoma and he will be telling us more of what they do as Kirago advocates. And then last but not least, we have Mr. Kimemia from TVET, who is our able moderator who will be guiding this session today. So ladies and gentlemen, let me not take any further time from you. Let me welcome Mr. Kimemia. Just come and lead us through this session. Mr. Kimemia, karibu and take over. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe a brief correction before we proceed. My name is Njane Maina, and not Mr. Kimemia, as had been mentioned. I'm going to be the moderator for this session. Our topic for discussion is going to be on integration and reintegration. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of us to this discussion, and I hope that it will yield a better understanding of what we mean when we talk about integration and reintegration, especially as far as the issues we have before us are concerned. Allow me at this point to ask that our panel members may briefly introduce themselves again so that we may proceed. Karibuni. We can start from here. Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
working opportunities and some of the skilling opportunities that are available through the Day2 program. So glad to be in this discussion and looking forward to engage with you all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samson Giptum. I'm the Head of Employment and Industrial Linkages at NYS.
Thank you very much, our panelists. I think we will get right on to our topic and seek experiences. I think Mr. Glenn Zetiang has mentioned that when you go out in a foreign country, then there are certain do's and don'ts. So you could ask, for example, for you to tell us where you have been, maybe which foreign country you went to, and how it was for you, maybe the kind of people, the kind of life you had, maybe whether you were experiencing language challenges, language barrier, before we then get on to the do's and don'ts. Very kindly, sir.
Thank you very much. To begin, I got the opportunity to be in Brazil,
Okay.
in Brasilia, and also in Europe, in Austria,
Okay.
Vienna. And I can say, for the experiences, the two countries, despite being broad, the experiences are different. Starting with the language, in Brazil it was Portuguese, in Austria it was German. So language is a challenge when you go out there because you either learn it before you go, or when you arrive, you have to learn the language and adjust, because whether it's going to the shop, to the supermarket, even the church. Sorry, the church. Portuguese language. Hello? Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm saying even the language is a problem. So you have to learn. Then the other experience and the challenge which comes with it was we take advantage, we ignore it, but something like weather. You know, Kenya, we are blessed with good weather all year round. And especially in Europe and in Austria where I was, there's a season we did negative 37. So you've left Nairobi with ile jacket yako kidogo, umeenda pale, and you get negative 37 weather. It can be depressing because it's the first time you're experiencing negative weather, so you need to adjust your mindset on how to deal with the weather. Then the other experience which was, how can I say it, the people. As much as we are in 2024, we have to call a spade a spade. You'll experience some challenges because of the color of your skin. And I recall one experience which I needed to have some small counseling in the office, where I sat in the bus and the person who was next to me stood up and walked away for the entire 15-minute journey. So it was quite depressing because I was like, I'm minding my own business. I'm in a suit going to work, and someone, like, they look at me, sneer, and walk away. So if you're not strong in the mind to deal with that, you'll start getting frustrated and going into depression. So you have to work around being mentally strong to deal with that. And also, maybe just a final one to share was food. We ignore our cuisine in Kenya. It's among the best. Those who love ugali, some of those places hautapata ugali. You will look the whole country to, including funny places to look for unga ya ugali. So you have to adjust your mind as you plan to go out there. In the first month or so, you might not find the ugali, the skuma, the proper meat you are used to, because their meat is there but doesn't taste like our meat. So those are the small things which I'll say as experiences where they look small, but they will determine how long you'll stay there. Because if you fall into the frustration and the depression part, then you start saying, I want to go back. And it beats the purpose of why you went there in the first place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think consequent to that, a lot of the people who want to go out, I think, are really young people. Recently, there have been the president himself saying that there are about 250,000 jobs in Germany, and therefore would our young people learn the German language. But what, in your experience, do we need to do to prepare our young people so that even as they get out to these countries, then they are better prepared to overcome those challenges that they face, from your experience?
Thank you so much. I think as a State Department, because we are cognizant to the fact of those issues, we are working and already putting in place the pre-departure preparation so that anybody who is preparing to go through some of the TVETs we are joining with and even NYS whom we are partnering with, they get to either learn the language or also get some of these life skills in terms of we are preparing and talking to you. Which country are you going? What to expect? And prepare for it way in advance. As the visa process is going on, as the passport process is going on, we'll try to reach out, especially those who reach out to us, to share that information. So I'll urge all of us who are looking for the opportunities, when you're processing your documents, use that time to reach out to the State Department for Diaspora Affairs. We have the Directorate of Jobs and Skills, which is ready to share some of those information so that when you leave the country, you are well prepared. So that is part of the intervention, and we are partnering with the different TVETs and NYS on it. Because if you're not prepared, then you fall into the problems.
Okay. It seems to me that there is probably a need to have a special curriculum designed and developed so that people going out may actually go through it before they go out and encounter some of those challenges. I think you mentioned something about NYS. And over to Mr. Simon Kiptum. NYS, I think, has been one of the departments or organizations that has sent out a lot of young people into the world. So how does NYS support its graduates when they get opportunities to go abroad? And you could probably also give us a brief on where they are within the globe and also the professions that they've been placed into. Mr. Kiptum.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, NYS has been at the forefront to implement the presidential directive on labor migration. And currently, the process, let me begin with the process. And I had actually earlier told you that our graduates are, we are in contact with our graduates. Where opportunities fall, we inform them through interactive communication channels that we have established. We have currently 7,000 on WhatsApp that by a click of a button, for example, an employer says, I want 5 plumbers. I will just say who is there. They will send their CVs through a link. We will assess the link and then now process those people through the agent or the person that has come to do. So the process all along involves also some steps that needs to be undertaken. One of it is acquisition of relevant documents. NYS graduates as a desk at the ministry, at the State Department for Immigration, where we will always process them as directed by the government of the day. Those passports will come. Then from there, they will be processed now going forward, including also visa acquisition and itinerary on how they will travel to those countries. When they leave Kenya, we are actually tracking them every step of the way. I want to use an example of what we have done for a group that has left yesterday at around 6:35 a.m. from JKIA heading to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, through a very good agency called A&J. A&J had written to the Director General NYS, currently we are calling him the Commandant General, to request for NYS graduates who will be involved in metro train services as cleaners. These people left yesterday. And what we do for our graduates is that we track them along the way. Before that, we have done a background check about where they are going and preparing them to actually take up the opportunities. And we get those reports on a daily basis. Like this morning, I received a very good report from our graduate who is the leader in charge of the ladies who have left already. And she gave me a very good report on how they went. They said they boarded at JKI 5:30, arrived at, landed at 10:15, where they found somebody waiting for them. That is very good. You know, when you are leaving the country and there's somebody already waiting for you on the other side, it becomes very nice. Then they gave us what they have done and where they are currently hosted. Now, when there is a challenge, like last night, there is a problem with internet and power fluctuations. I get to know and inform my boss that our graduates have arrived at the work destination, but there are also challenges. But I'm very happy that the agents that we have, and I'm specifically mentioning this one, is that they have a communication between the employer on the other side. So that I tell him, sir, there is a problem with Wi-Fi on the other side. People need to communicate to their parents. He calls and it is sorted out. So we will always monitor them, including also the period, especially when he mentioned that when you go to a country, you get some challenges, especially during the first day. We have to give them, please, change is not easy. You need to adapt. And then definitely after a month or two, these people will be able to now to adapt. To the second question, where are our graduates globally? NYS graduates are nearly in all the countries in Africa and in some specific countries globally. Talk about America. There are those who are working currently in the ship industry. The person who explained here, some of them are our graduates. And then we have specifically in UK, and you have seen them, the videos about the seasonal workers in the UK. Our graduates are there also around cohort 1 were 45, cohort 2, 83, and eventually the cohort that actually left, cohort 3, is around 145. And we're expecting more in August when they will come and recruit. So they are in UK. There are graduates also in Saudi Arabia, as I had mentioned earlier, who are, again, engaged in various industries. There are those who are in Dubai and Qatar, just to mention a few.
Thank you very much for your very lengthy response. Probably, I'd like to ask, now, the places that they go to and the jobs that they do and the training that we do here as TVETs, how then do you ensure that the job skills which are out there match what we are doing? How do you do that?
Thank you for that question. It's a very important question. When these agents get the job orders, in the job order, there is always the job description. Very detailed job description about, the description about the job. Their requirement in terms of academic qualifications and competencies, skills that are very necessary for the job. In Kenya, and I'm happy that we have TVET here, we are doing many courses, several courses ranging from hospitality, engineering, name them. But when these job orders come, usually they might not actually be describing exactly what you have. But you might be having a skill, probably from prior learning, that will actually help you get that job. But basically, when they tell us we need somebody who is able to weld, the welding that they have described in the job description, in the job order, we will actually be able to now describe and look at what exactly a welder in Kenya has done. Where there is a deviation, definitely, we will be able to say if we can still reskill this person within a short period of time to get exactly the qualification or the certification that they need. But generally, from the jobs that we have received, there is a challenge already that we want to speak to TVET, and we are preparing ourselves also so that when we are preparing for jobs abroad, we also need to look at, are we training people based on the availability of jobs? You look at the skills versus the jobs. Currently, I can tell you why we are struggling perhaps is that we are not undertaking a survey about the jobs available abroad and undertake making trainings specifically to suit that market. And I think that is a challenge that we need to take up as government, and also look at reskilling these people to meet the demand.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think clearly from the discussion, it is important to identify the gaps between what the job requires and the skills that we have here, so that before our trainees go out, then they are in a position to have matching. Now, it has been mentioned about the labor export, but it is also possible that some of the jobs can be done from within the country. We don't need to really travel and encounter all of those. And therefore, I want to talk or to ask Lynn Ngatia about this initiative about Jitume Labs, which promises that our young people can still be able to undertake these jobs when they are here. What is Jitume?
Okay, thank you. First of all, Jitume is a government initiative with Konza as the implementing agency. So this initiative aims to train the youth in terms of equipping them with digital skills for them to be able to take advantage of digital job opportunities. So what I mean by the entire program, we have the Jitume centers that are established, whereby we supply devices to these Jitume centers, because we realized one of the gaps that was existing out there was lack of devices or lack of the laptops or internet connectivity for the youth to be able to take advantage of these online opportunities. So we went ahead as the government, we supply devices to some of these Jitume centers, of which they are currently integrated into TVETs. And currently in Embu, we have 3 centers. That is Embu University, we have Runyenjes TVC, and we also have what's the other one called? We also have, apart from Runyenjes TVC, we also have Jeremiah Nyaga TTI. So those are the 3 centers that we currently have. The other component of the program is the Jitume Skills, whereby we are working with our partners and other relevant stakeholders to train the youth in terms of business and technology and also creative arts. These training courses that are available, we offer are free of charge, and the youths are able to access this through our Jitume portal, which is available online. For the Jitume Kazi, this is whereby we avail the online opportunities. We have gone a step further, highlighted in terms of each of the skill areas that we have. If you've done IT, we have gone ahead and highlighted some of those opportunities that are available for you to take advantage. And this program currently in TVET is been working quite well. We have managed to train since the beginning, that is September 2023, we have managed to train about over 15,000 youths, and that are currently working and are currently earning.
Thank you very much, Lynn, for that response. You've mentioned something about the young people going to the portal for registration. Is there anything, for example, a young person or a youth here would require as they go to register on that portal?
No, for you to enroll in that portal, you don't need anything. These courses are available to anyone, so you don't need like a certificate. It's more of a reskilling. It's more of a reskilling program. So all you need is to visit jitume.konza.go.ke, register using your name and your email, and you'll be able to access some of these training opportunities and also the job platforms that are available through the platform.
Thank you very much. I think some of the experience we have had, allow me to mention that at Laikipia North, where I work, we also have a Jitume lab, and we are in the process of talking to the ICT people to come and give us internet. I'll be coming to it shortly. But we also send some of our trainers to be trainers for the program, and earning $1, I think, is a big effort. It can take you quite a bit of time. Maybe you can explain the benefits. How then do they get these earnings and reasonable earnings so that they can be interested?
Okay, to address that, first of all, working online takes a lot of patience. Once you're trained, the first 1 month might be really difficult for you to start even earning, but it's all about mastering your skill and packaging your career in such a way that you can demonstrate what you can do. So once you bid for a job, don't talk about the degree that you have, talk about the skills that you can do. What have you done? Do you have evidence for that? If you're a graphic designer, what are some of the designs that you've come up with? So giving a proof is a better way for you to get that job, rather than just saying that I am a Bachelor of Science or I'm a graduate from this university. Yeah, so that is the message I'd encourage them to do.
Yeah, I think then it is very clear that you must really demonstrate that you have the skills, other than just saying that you have this certificate or the other. I think Mr. Gishuki, ICT, maybe you could enlighten us on how the digital transformation agenda is all about, and how you are enabling, for example, the TVETs and other G2 labs to be operational.
Thank you for that question. I want to bring back to the President's sentiments some time back, and I want to test whether everybody heard about it, when he said, Finya computer, Finya computer, guys, you don't listen, $1.
$1.
What does it tell you about? That's the President speaking to the nation about a specific initiative. Is the recognition that opportunities are available, but you have to get an opportunity to exploit those opportunities that are available online, digitally. In view of that, there are national government programs, and national government has prioritized digital transformation agenda as a key cornerstone for transformation of this country. In view of that, the government has taken measures and is coming up by building hubs, community digital hubs, totaling to 1,450 digital hubs within every ward. The President has spoken about it severally. So these community digital hubs are going to bridge the gap of unavailability of devices, inability to access the devices, by provisioning devices to the hub digital centers for the youth and the community to use. At that center, you can exploit the opportunities. She has spoken about the G2 reskilling program. Once you land there, you don't have to worry that I don't have money. You can walk into the lab, the hub, the community hubs, the digital hubs, and access global business services. That is when online jobs. The other thing the government has taken so seriously about connectivity, he has alluded about it. If you have been very keen, the President has been talking about 100,000 kilometers of connectivity across the country. The vision is to connect every corner of this country with internet, because digital is the way to go. And it's the only way that we can reach the global population. And in view of that, the government is rolling out fiber optic connectivity across the country, targeting schools, community hubs, TVETs, and all the other government offices. The other thing is devices. Cost of acquisition of device has been so high. Government is in cognizance of that position. And as far as you're talking about digital hubs and access of online jobs, earning a decent living, devices is a component that can transform that. So in the devices, the government is provisioning devices to TVETs as a foundation. I know most of them have received. In the digital hubs, in partnership with the private sector, and provisioned for free in the institutions and the digital hubs. I know most of the TVETs have benefited for that. Is for the use by the youth and the community to empower themselves. Those who are not able to go to look for jobs outside the country, they can still access those jobs through through those centers and using the same devices. The other broader aspect that the government has taken is about the skilling. She has alluded to one of the skilling through the Jitume program. We have also a JIRA program, which has been running for a while. And I know it's very popular. It's a basic, they teach the basic computer skilling, because you find, I was speaking to some students here, and then you find somebody is an engineer. He didn't have an opportunity to learn the computing skills. So it trains them for the basic perspective of computing. And also, you are taught the basics of job pitching online, so you can be able to get the jobs online. There is also other programs on the same, and Presidential Digital Talent Program. Those of you who are leaving universities, there's internship, 1-year internship program and mentorship program, whereby you are connected to software engineering, that's purely software and technology, mentorship program. So to coach and mentor and promote skill acquisition. So the government is thinking about the youth and is in recognizing that not everyone can be able to move to the diaspora, but we can still get the jobs from global perspective. And through those platforms and through those initiatives, we can be able to earn a decent living by the youth and the citizen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that quite elaborate response. We are beneficiaries of the Ajira Digital program in our college, and we have seen it has done quite a lot. And of course, the other training by Konza Technopolis. But I find, for example, the rollout of the fiber optic, it is a bit slow in certain areas, especially the northern counties, the ASALs, even power. So I don't know whether government may consider probably using devices that are more friendly, maybe solar-powered laptops or stuff like that, where you could use that kind of energy to ensure there is that reach.
Thank you for that. And in that perspective, the northern part of Kenya, the ASA areas, government is cognizant of that. And if you've been following keenly, the government has partnered with the KPLC, because Kenya Power is all over, to make sure that we can accelerate the need to connect to the global, to the whole population. The other initiatives is that we have satellite engagements with other companies, private sector players, to make sure where there is no cable, internet comes. The issue of devices that are solar powered is a continuous process. We are learning the journey, we are walking the journey, it's a costly journey sometimes. So initiatives, depending on where the program is running, we are continuously looking at that. I may not give an affirmative yes that the government is going to do that, but we'll consider that as an opportunity. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I come to Mr. Kiragu, I want to tie in something that Mr. Etiang said, that there are do's and don'ts. Yeah? But I think you're doing just a snippet of that, the do's and don'ts when you're in a foreign country. And then the fact that when you probably come back, you will have made some money, maybe some saving. So we don't know whether, when you came back, what was your experience like? And, you know, very briefly, maybe in a minute or two.
Thank you so much for that. Indeed, there are do's and don'ts. So maybe just to give a snapshot of the do's. And the biggest one, and I think Mr. Kiragu will really like that, is the bottom line is you have to respect and uphold the law of your host country. Because some of the challenges we have is we end up, diaspora, getting into conflict with the law because they take some of our easy behaviors there. Simple things like, as simple as crossing the road. Here we cross the road everywhere. Yeah. Out there, if you don't cross on the zebra crossing, you are arrested for jaywalking. Then the embassy has to come in to put bail or to get you released. So respect the law. Then the other thing is, for the dues, make sure you register with the embassy. And where we don't have a Kenya embassy, there's always a diaspora grouping. The good thing about Kenyans, we are very social. So in every corner where we have met diaspora, even in some of the places we've never even thought about, there are Kenyans, and even if there are 5, they know each other, they have a WhatsApp group, and they're together. Because that way information reaches us in case of a distress, and we are able to intervene. Now, some of the don'ts, which I can just highlight in terms of investment. We also, being social, we love our family. And you go out there, you go through all these challenges, then you make your money. Then you send your money home. And then the relative, instead of building for you your house or invest for you, they do it for them. When you come back home, you have nothing to show. So those are some of the don'ts which are very simple. You're like, oh, I've made money. Let me send home to my brother, and sometimes to even your mother, and the money disappears. So, as I said from the beginning, they look like simple things, and those are what, when you come to the department, we don't even focus so much on the big things in the beginning. We start with the small things. Don't do this. It looks simple. Don't cross the road aimlessly, like in Nairobi. Don't do this. Simple, but they can put you in a lot of trouble.
Thank you very much. I think that leads us then to Mr. Kirogo, who will inform us something about reintegration. What are the expectations when somebody is back? What should their financial stability be upon return? And the whole of that experience, so that it is memorable when they come back, then they're still able to move on with their lives.
And thank you very much. Even before I tackle that, as he said, there are those simple things that can be called rules of the thumb. For instance, when you get to the labor market, whether locally or internationally, there are some rules which you need to observe. For instance, when you go back home, just look at your documentation, look at your identity card, look at your certificates, and all other identification documents. Are the names well aligned? Are they the same names? Are there problems with the spellings? Just address that at the earliest opportunity. Especially if you aspire to go abroad. That question will arise when you apply for the passport or somewhere else where 2 documents appear to have different names. So kindly make sure you align your documents early enough. Secondly, and this is something which is arising in the labor market, and this is use of social media. For the youth, we are very much in the social media space. Kindly use it well, because internet never forgets. You apply for a job, and when employers go to do a background check, there are some things which are attributed to your name somewhere, and you lose the opportunity. So kindly use the social media very well. The worst that can happen to any person working locally is being sacked. Sometimes people are taken to jail because of having committed crimes within the context of employment. Every time we are dealing with cases of stealing by servant and improper use of employers' data. So, especially now with this era of data, please familiarize yourself with the law on data, because there are things you will do in the context of employment and you'll add in serious problems. For those people who will go abroad, the worst that will happen is to get jailed in a foreign country, because that is bad enough. So, as he said, obey the law of the country that is hosting you. Something else that can happen is you can be deported. And I understand that one, you're taken back to your country using the next available flight. And you don't go back to pick your bag. They just escort you as you are. So kindly familiarize yourself with the simple rules of those countries that you go to, and as much as possible, avoid violating the law. There are things that you get away with here. You walk around, you find people fighting in the streets or in the houses. Here, sometimes we are a bit easy on that. Violence is a very serious offense, especially in European and Americas. So, just if you are a person of high temperament, please tone it down. In terms of investments, he alluded to it. Over a period of time, most of the disputes that we handle for people who work abroad are issues touching on money they send to people, especially relatives who are meant to invest on their behalf or protect their money, but most of the cases, at least 70%, that is usually not the outcome. So, and also friends. There are people who trust friends, and that is one of the biggest don't. You work very hard in those countries. Here we work from 8 to 5, and you get a lunch hour break, and you can walk out of the office for an hour or 30 minutes. In those countries, people work up to 18 hours or even more. You work very hard. That money is hard-earned. I mean, if you call hours hard-earned, I don't know what you call the other one, because you really have to work for it. So, the way you work hard for that money, please protect the resources that you get out of that hard labor or hard work. What you do, kindly create or engage a network of professionals. And we have financial institutions here in the country which have gone to the diaspora, and they are offering services to the people in the diaspora. Kindly engage reputable financial institutions to keep your money. Engage reputable professionals, accountants, lawyers, real estate consultants who are well registered, regulated, and they are compliant with the law applicable to their industry. Otherwise, you may work for 20 years, then when you come back here, there's nothing to show for it. And you don't want to have sorrow after working so hard. So my advice is engage professionals. Relatives are good, support them, listen to them. But when it comes to your resources, I mean, you need to draw some line and engage professionals in that. And thank you very much.
Very, very well put. I think you could take all the effort and go abroad and work, and then when you come back, you have nothing to show for it. And therefore, it is important and very prudent to engage professionals and ensure that your hard-earned money resources are very well utilized to help you on your way and in your life. I think we've had a lot of information, a lot of insights and ideas that have been shared here. And I think it is time now to get back to the audience for questions so that you could direct any question, and our panel, I think, will be available to respond to any of the questions. So very kindly, maybe we could start with anyone that has a question to any member of the panel. Yes. You will give us your name and then maybe the question directing to over there. Yeah. Any other hand, so that after that we can... Okay.
My name is Prudence. My first question goes to the NITA organization, you said that if you are skilled and you have no certificate, you can go and collect the certificate, book for the examination, they examine you and give you the certificate. But I think they are doing that for the only technical courses. What if you have done something like agriculture? So where can I book the examination if I'm skilled but I've not gone to school? My second question, it's about if you've gone abroad, so to diaspora, yeah, you've gone to diaspora, then it's time to come back. When you go there, do you go with a bank account, or are the payments made by cash, by bank, or by, what is the, how do they make the payments? Thank you.
Yes, do we have yes here? And then we could take this one and as we move to this one. Over here, please. Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Lillian. I'm a recruiter. I'm asking this question on behalf of some of the job seekers that I've interacted with here. One of the speakers spoke about savings. For the past 5 years, I've deployed over 10,000 Kenyans, young people between the age of 21 to 35. And during my journey, I have so many of them going and coming back and forth, back and forth. Is there an organization in the government that can stand for our young people and ensure these young people, when they travel, they have a saving plan? Because I don't think there is a government body that is working on that. Because if my salary is 35,000, and I said it to my mom, as one of the speakers was talking, and I accidentally request my mom to buy me a piece of land, that piece of land will be under my mom's name. By the time I come back after 2 years, I don't have any savings and I have a piece of land under my mom. Telling my mom to transfer that title deed is also another process, which will need money, which I don't have. So I find myself going back to the Middle East. And since I was working there as a domestic worker, I'll find myself going back again as a domestic worker, because I cannot be able to afford to go to any other country since I was not able to save tangible money, but I have a property. Which government body is working on that? Because taking them to work as technical or semi-technical skilled workers is often an end game until they go first contract 2 years, another contract 2 years, and you find that the person who was 35 when you started is now 42. And I'm still taking them back again. It's like I'm recycling them. Someone, please. Thank you.
Let's have one more question. I think, yeah. We can have that one and then behind.
Good afternoon. My name's Faith Kagendo, and my question is to Ms. Ngatia about Jitume. When you offer the training, do you, maybe I want to do academic writing, transcription jobs, graphic design. Is there any fee? Are we paying any fee or it's free? Another thing, do you offer certification after the training? Because after the training, when I go to look for the online jobs, maybe they'll need an evidence of maybe I have the skill or I'm trained on the particular job, whether it's academic writing or graphic design. So yeah, do you offer certification? Is there any fee that I'm paying? And the last thing, after training me, maybe graphic design, are you connecting me with the available jobs, or it's my own. I'm going to search for the jobs on my own. Yeah, thank you.
I think there is one more right behind you there. After that, I think we can have responses, and then we'll take another round of questions as we come to a close.
Okay, I'm Victor from Day2 TVC. My first question goes to the G2 training. How will you know that the online job that you're doing is not a scam? The second question goes to the one who gave us about the challenges. Sometimes it goes about opportunities comes once in a lifetime, and also it comes as a luck. Now, if you get an opportunity that you are being chosen to work in outside country, then maybe you don't know the language. How can you help me about that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think, okay, let's take the last question here for now, and then we will put, okay.
Good evening. My name is Dennis Muremi. I am deaf. I would like to ask a question. What about persons with disabilities? Are they possible to get jobs abroad?
Thank you very much. I think we will respond to that. I think that is a very poignant question, and I'm sure we will be able to find a response to it. I want to just engage our panelists here. The first question was from Prudence, and she mentioned something about, was it NYS or NITA? We may probably not be able to hold brief for NITA because we don't know what they committed themselves to. But the second part about booking of an exam when you may not have, maybe have gone to school, but you have the skills, there is a new instrument now called recognition of prior learning. And the national polytechnics, I think, are already offering that kind of examination where they assess you on the skills. I think yesterday there was a circular that all TVETs should also register as RPL assessment centers. So I think that would be one way to go. Now, the second question was about the bank account, the form of payment that the money is made in. Maybe I will ask either Mr. Etiang or to respond to that, because I think you've been in that area.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Prudence, for the question. When it comes to money outside the country, most countries are very strict with their financial policies and their taxation. So having a bank account is almost mandatory. And like, for example, in Europe, if you are going for work, part of what is a requirement on arrival is to open a bank account within 14 days, because all the payments must be through the bank. So the issue of cash transactions, because even in the normal places, supermarkets, they prefer card than cash. So that means you have to have an ATM that's a bank account. And I think it applies mostly Europe, Americas, they're very strict on it.
Okay. Okay. Anything, or that is okay? So. Okay, then let's go to the question from Lillian, who says she's a recruiter, on savings and whether there is a government organization that assists the people who are out there. Because I think if somebody came, worked, they came back, then they didn't have something, and then they have to go back and be like recycled, I think it is really a very sad narrative, that one. So I think any one of us here. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that very important question. Indeed, it's a challenge. It's a challenge that Kenyans are getting employment opportunities abroad. They go work, but when they come back, something has happened to their savings, or rather, the money they channeled back home may have been used for a different purpose. Let me speak to our graduates how we are able to guide them. One of those who are actually in the Middle East, and even those who will be getting jobs in other countries. Number one is, do you have a plan? And it should be the question that we are posing to you, is that when you get a job opportunity, what is your plan? You know, there's somebody who is going to get a job, and the idea is to build a house because their family don't have a house. So it is your idea that you'll be sending back money to build your parents a house. So that is the objective of you going to employment. But how often do we get these jobs? Like, you are coming to build a house, next you'll come and do a business for your own. So we advise our graduates that before you leave this country, you must have a plan. You must have a plan that when I get this money, I'm coming back to this country, and I will not probably be going back to look for other money again, but I will start a business. So you must have a business idea, and you have a plan, well written, so that this money you are going to get from, for example, the employment in UK becomes the seed money. If you are getting, for example, 1.5 million, you will have to say you'll be sending money, this amount, to your parents or your siblings, but save the money. She asked whether there is an organization that will deal with issues of managing their money. With us, NYS, we have received already top banks of the country, KCB. We also had Equity coming to visit us. They have diaspora branches that deal with diaspora banking. We will allow them to educate. Open an account with them. The diaspora remittance will be coming. You'll be saving your money and perhaps earn your interest. But the most important thing that we need to have in our minds, as also you prepare to take up opportunities abroad, is that you must have a plan. You must have a plan. So that when you come back, you invest in that plan, and then look at the number of people that we are unemployed. When you come here, we still have the problem. It will be you employing at least 3 in your company, and will be solving the problem of unemployment. So that is what we are advising our graduates, that they open banks, accounts with banks that have diaspora banking arrangements, and then they save money. There's something our graduates in UK told us. They said one of the greatest problems currently is their parents and people who depend on them. You know, they are earning around 250,000 per month. The parent already knows, my son, my daughter is earning 250,000 per month. Do you know how much they will be asking you to send back home? You are a parent sitting here now. Mtoto wako majuu, sindio? They will be always that tendency of asking more money, and because they understand you are their parents, they will send you the money. Now let me ask you, your child has been abroad, earning money, yes, 250,000 per month. You have been asking that child to send back, like, for example, 150. They are still using that money abroad to maintain themselves. So when that child of yours comes back home, what do you expect? The pressure by our parents is actually what is causing our young Kenyans, or those who are actually having jobs abroad, to send back money, but later on come back home and start getting depression. Another issue that we have learned, and this goes to the ladies. I don't know whether there is an extortion of love. You go to Saudi Arabia, for example, just a minute, and you get online conversations we tell our people, do not be lied to. Nasikia mimi nimepata shamba leo hapa Embu, nitumie shilingi 50,000 ninunue shamba nataka tuchenge, when you come we settle. Those lies can sometimes lead you to depression. Be prudent about your finances, but remember, we have said, ensure that those money that you earn can actually be saved and earn you something. When you come back, you are somebody.
Thank you very much. I hope, Madam Lillian, that gives some insight. Now, there is, okay, yeah.
Sorry.
For a moment.
Thank you. Just a quick addition on 3 points. One of them, Mr. Kiptum has mentioned about the diaspora banking. As a diaspora department, we engage the commercial banks, the diaspora banking sections, to actually do what you were saying. During the pre-departure, to talk to those who are going that you need this bank, and most of them you can do through internet banking and mobile banking, so it works. Then also in the department, we have our Department of Saving, Investment and Remittance, which job is to engage the diaspora through webinars, through consular services, to tell them these are the opportunities available to invest back home. So it's something that we observed as a challenge and we're addressing. And maybe also just to give a guide, you remember about when you arrive abroad, register with or with the diaspora associations. Most of the diaspora associations always have a diaspora circle. And the ones which have done very well, for example, the diaspora in Botswana, in the UK, in US, they are through the membership and the money they receive from the diasporans, they are investing home in big projects, and the dividends goes to the diasporans. So the opportunities are there, but it starts with getting the right information, and the best place to get is either through the embassy when you arrive and register, or through a fellow Kenyan who has already been there, and you ask and you'll be guided. And maybe just a last one, which is something we are focusing on. There are some of the diasporans who have stayed out there for 30 years and they want to come back home. Together with NSSF, we are working on a way to find them to transfer their benefits, so that after working in the UK, for example, for 30 years, you want to return home. You've been saving there. How do we bring back your benefits? So that is an ongoing process, but we are hoping to complete in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There are some 2 questions from Faith Kagendo and Victor, who asked about the Jitume, one about certificates, and then Victor also asked whether about the online jobs are a scam, and the opportunities maybe with language. Maybe Lynn?
This goes to Faith. You had asked 3 questions. Is there a fee to training? Is there a certificate issued after training? And also, do we do the direct connection to the available jobs? So to answer your questions, there is no fee to the trainings that we offer. Our courses are free of charge and are available to everyone. In terms of issuing of a certificate after training, our training partners do that. Once you're trained, depending on the program, you're issued a certificate. If you do undergo the self-paced training that are offered online via the Jitume website, you're issued a digital badge to also showcase your skills. In terms of connection to available jobs, what we do in our training, we give you exposure to the online job opportunities. So we have tried as Jitume to highlight some of the available online work platforms that are available according to what you have trained. So as you mentioned, graphic design, when you go to the Jitume website, you will see under graphic design, we have highlighted for you some of the platforms that are available. For those are for the jobs that are available through the online work platforms. For those that we get through the locally sourced, that is through the BPOs in Kenya, those we do advertisement via your emails, of which you'll get a notification, and if it suits you, you'll be able to take advantage of that opportunity. For the question on from Victor on the online jobs, how do you know if it's scam? First of all, I'll encourage you to do your research before you register for any online job platform. Talk to your colleagues. Please research a lot before you register. You can also access these platforms through G2Me. It's safer that way because we do on a quarterly basis, we research on some of the platforms, what is working out there and what is not. So we try to update that on a regular basis. So I'll advise you to be checking the G2Me website. Once in a while, you'll find the updates there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think there is one final question which came from Dennis Murimi, which I will pass to Advocate. And then there was also something about remittances, which I think had also been ably tackled, but I think you can still give it a wrap-up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I may not have from where I sit, but my understanding is that when these jobs come, because I know at least 2 people, people with disabilities who have gone abroad to do some jobs. I don't know how that happened, but there are 2 people who are the people who are
Thank you. That maybe what I can say is, you see, when the job orders are sent, they usually come with a very specific. We share without discrimination. We share to everybody. So I think once an interested party applies and they indicate their disability, and in case there's a challenge, that is where now we'll come in. For example, if the person who sent the job order and there's an application, then they say we cannot take because of this, then now as a department we come in and try to query, because for us we don't discriminate. Okay. But we've not had any challenge.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think at this point in time, because of our time, I will just probably give our panelists, if we have any closing remarks or any comment, probably half a minute, maybe beginning from there. Just any final closing remarks, and then we give it a wrap.
Thank you very much, moderator. My final remarks is to the job seekers. Jobs are available, but kindly ensure that your CV is properly updated. People may complain they are not getting jobs, but it is your CV that has really let you down. So invest on your CVs by including skills that you may think may not be necessary. Because through that CV, an employer will be able to look at something that is standing out of of what you have actually given. And when you're applying for a job, you might actually get that job based on other experiences that are complementary to what you have studied. Another point is that please, let's reskill ourselves. Where you find that you studied this course and it is not giving you an employment opportunity, go back to school and reskill yourself for and improve your employability probability. Thank you.
Okay, just to echo on what my colleague has said, as the word G2Me is all about, it's take initiative, ni kujituma. So take the initiative to reskill yourself. You don't have to change your career path. It's not a must you do IT for you to be able to work online. You can be a civil engineer and still work online. So take the initiative to reskill yourself, master your skill, and package yourself well. Thank you.
Mine is just to encourage the young people. Take a keen look at the government initiatives. I know most of the times we look the other side and we are so much so keen on the political perspective and we miss the critical component. The government agenda is there to serve you, but you can only benefit, and those who are going to benefit are only those who have taken a keen interest to see what does Taptengeles means to them. It may look like a joke, but it was a coded language. Take time, visit the government offices, visit the national government website, the county government websites, the various institutional websites, and learn more about the government initiatives, because that's where you are going to benefit and get factual information. Thank you.
Thank you. For me, my parting shot will be, as the State Department for Diaspora Affairs, we were set up to look at the welfare and protect the rights of the diaspora. And as I look for the job seekers here, they are our potential clients, and we wish them well as they try to get the jobs. So what I'll say, the department is there for them to verify any information, to answer any question, because information is power. There was a question about some scam jobs. How do you verify? Please ask for the information. There is a whole department to give that information. Verify, verify, verify. There's also NEA, which also helps with the portal. Because part of the problem might not be at the other side, it might also be on our side. Verify also, am I dealing with the right person who is trying to get me a job? But we are there, and once you arrive in your destination of choice, please, I'll reiterate again, register with the nearest Kenya embassy, but also with the Association of Kenyans, because that will be a family for the time that you're abroad. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My final remarks are that getting a job, it's a process, and sometimes a lengthy one. So when you get that job, please respect your job. Perform your work well, respect the workplace, and execute the tasks that are assigned to you properly. And most importantly, the reward that you get out of work, that is what you're paid, kindly protect it in terms of investing it properly. And from where I sit, we recruit people in our businesses. And my colleague, Patricia, who is seated there, will tell you that we've been in the process of recruiting for some 2 positions for the last 2 months. And we have a heap of CVs. But when you go through those CVs, there's nobody who qualifies. All the papers are speaking, and what the skills speak are 2 different people. So you don't need to redesign your CV to suit a certain job which is advertised. As you are told, when you see there is a recurrence of a particular job advertisement, kindly reskill yourself, because what the papers say and what you say during the interview will be 2 different things. And again, even when you get a job, while you had misrepresented what you're capable of, it will be seen within a month or 2 months. So that's why you find people, you find a job within a month, 2 months, 3 months, your boss does not want to see you. So kindly reskill yourself and apply for jobs that you can properly execute. Thank you very much.
Okay. Very, very well said by our team of panelists. I want to take this opportunity to thank you very sincerely for the insights that you have shared, for the ideas that you have given. I think it is a very, very exciting time for us as young people of this country to even have the opportunity to have a panel such as this, discuss maybe the issues that we would expect to encounter when we go out. And therefore, I think we are very, very well guided for those who may want to go out. But again, it doesn't mean that we must really go out, because Jitume and ICT are here to tell us that we can also work from home, isn't it? And we still make the dollars in the So I'd like to just very kindly ask that we give a round of appreciation to our panel as we come to the end. tumepiga makofi bila formula. Eh? Okay, I think we didn't have a formula. So what we'll do, we could even stand because I think we've been sitting for very long. So let us start clapping without stopping. So let's just continue clapping. Let us increase the tempo. And then slowly. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, our panelists, for this particular evening. Mr. Glenn Setiang from Diaspora Affairs, Evans Geshoki from ICT, Lynn Ngatia from Konza Technopolis, Simon Kiptum from NYS, Paul Kirago from Kirago Advocates, and of course, our moderator for the day, who is Mr. Minor, who has really led us well in that particular discussion on reintegration or diaspora jobs. There's something that, there's a word that I love, that of course is used as part of our discussion today, is known as jitume. Jitume is a very key word, and very important word. And you are here because umejituma leo. Kama ungekuwa umejituma, ungekuwa umekaa nyumbani pale, ungekuwa hapa. And that is key. Sending yourself, basically in English means sending yourself, and then finding yourself there, already have arrived. That is basically what it means. Unajituma before, unajituma after. We want people who send themselves before getting the job. And also when you get the job, kindly pia jitume. Usiende huko ati huko Canada, alafu unafikiria huko maisha ni rahisi. Ukiingia huko cheza kama Mkenya. You just go and survive. You know how we survive as Kenyans. And go disintegrate 2 years contract, of course, because you have lawyers, honor your contract. Lakini ukifika huko jitume. That is what I will say. There's something also, Bwana Kiptum has said that is also very important. That change is not easy, and you need to adapt. You need to adapt, ladies and gentlemen. Hata ukienda huko majuu, kidogo usikue wewe sana. Jaribu kuona venye watu wengine wanaishi, venye watu wengine wanakaa. Kama ni kizungu flow nayo, itakupata kwa njia hata kama huijui. Just use whatever you have to survive as a Kenyan. Just don't go and keep quiet. And you're not saying anything. You're timid and closed up because you don't know German or English. You just use the small words that you have in your vocabulary. I told you I know a little bit of Chinese to survive, and a little bit of German to survive. At least to borrow water here and there. Alafu kikwama, ninamwambia nyewe hapo ndio kama inafika mwisho. And we at least have made friends and broken the ice. That is what I want us to do. And we have very many booths here that require your engagement. Tafadhali. Hao watu wanakuogopa, wewe unaogopa. So I want someone who is confident enough to just go and approach them. Even if you're looking for jobs, tafadhali, have confidence. There's one time I was looking for a job in the year 2019. And I went for an interview, and my boss said, this, I don't know, there's something about you. This either goes too well or too bad. Because of my confidence. Nilingia hapo ni kama sitafuti kazi, lakini natafuta. I was overconfident. And that is the confidence I want you to have. Even when you're going to those booths, ask relevant questions. Ni how much? Natulibisha how much? Alafu, mkoshua mtatupeleka? Ask them, don't fear them. They are here because of you. They need you more than you, or probably you need each other as much. So let me say that that has been a very beautiful session that we have had today. And it is courtesy of 3 government institutions that we're having. The first institution is known as TVET. And TVET is Technical Vocational Education and Training that has helped organize. And our mission, of course, is to provide skilled and globally competitive. And the word, they underline the word global. I know you have a pen, just underline in your head. The word globally competitive, employable human resource. That is a vision of TVET. So we want to, even as we are training you to become globally competitive. We don't want you to stick in the village known as Kenya. We want you to stick in the village known as world or earth. And even when they are opening up Mars, we are the first ones to go to Mars. I know Elon Musk is going to Mars. Mars wakifungua kazi, tuko huko diaspora ya Mars, tutafuta kazi. na najua utakuwa sawa. And TVET aims to empower young people and even people that are not young. I don't want to call them old. People that are not young to gain these critical key skills in technical courses. We also have Diaspora Affairs, the Department of Diaspora Affairs that is under the Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Na najua mnajua nani nyinyi watu mmesoma. It was none other than Mudavadi himself, Madividi. And our mission there is to empower, engage and protect. Empower, engage and protect. Sisi ni watu different kidogo. Yetu lazima ikuwe unique. That is what we are doing. So empower, engage and protect. And our greatest mandate is to champion the rights and welfare and interests of Kenyans overseas. So ukishaenda majuu, sasa hapo sasa ndio sisi utaanza kuona simu za Madam Irene, simu za balozi, uko sawa, ulifika salama, uko na blanketi, umelala, umekula, mambo kama hiyo. We are very very key and keen to make sure that you have settled well. So kindly you can take my number as a diasporian. I will probably call you and ask you if Irene does not take your phone, but I know her phone is always on. Nimekuwa nikimpigia, hakuna wakati nimepata kuwa mteja. And then last but not least we have Kati. Kati is the Kenya Association of Technical Training Institutions, and because we are in Embu, we call this Mount Kenya East or Mount Kenya West. So, Mount Kenya East, but we are organizing this together with Mount Kenya West. So we have 48 technical institutions that are here, and we offer the same courses. The only difference is the span and the breadth. Kuna wengine wako na mingi kidogo, wengine wako na German, wengine wanatafuta bado mwalimu wa German kidogo kidogo hivyo. So wenda pali unapata walimu. Usiende mahali hakuna walimu. So if you're looking for German, the courses are diverse and our brochures are there. You'll be able to see them. The mission of Kati, of course, is to create a vibrant association of TVET institutions that foster globally competitive manpower for sustainable development. And I love the word globally, because you're not creating you, or we're not teaching you, educating you just to be local. We want to teach you or educate you so that you can become globally competitive. And I know we have millions of Kenyans working outside there, either as skilled or unskilled workers. And of course, we have another million that is now coming to join them, that is seated here. And I hope that mko kwa process ya kutafuta passport. Najua kuna wengine waliniambia jana walikuwa wameapplyia watu 18 passport. I hope yours is part of the applicants. So end up patcha details, be aggressive and use that word that I love, jitume fadhali, so that you can be able to get the opportunity that you deserve. And opportunities are there for everybody. So ladies and gentlemen, we have been live. If you have noticed, I am live. I called my parents a few minutes ago, nikwambia hebu niangalie kwa TV kidogo. Ulikuwa unafikiria hii mambo yangu ya MC ni kama siko serious kidogo, ndio hiyo niangalie kwa TV kidogo. Ameniangalia, ndio ananipigia simu sasa na katakata simu sana, ananiambia ananiona. You have also been live. We are live at GTN, but we are airing at State Department for TVET YouTube channel, because of course today is the day that we are reading our budgets. Tujue tunaongezewa tax ya pesa ngapi. Again today we will be reading our budget. So GTN ile TV iko kwa budget. We have been airing live on State Department for TVET YouTube channel. So ukienda pale, if you want to just go and catch up on the deliberations that were here, you can just go, enda pale kwa hiyo live, una rewind. Ukipata yangu pia unanisikia, so that at least we can be together. So ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow will be our greatest highlight. We will be having various distinguished guests, and we'll be closing tomorrow. Unfortunately, we will have loved to be here forever, and just made sure that we take you step by step and give you enough time to be able to secure your dream job. But I know we have been offering ample time for all of you. But tomorrow we'll be having very key distinguished guests, including the governor, the various PSs, permanent secretaries that you've been seeing here, including the permanent secretary for education, Madam Esther Moria, the permanent secretary for diaspora, and the CATI officials, various PSs. We'll be having them here, and various distinguished guests, including politicians, so that they can come and just tell us more on the plans that they have for us as young people, or people who are not young. Let me not forget you. The problem with young people, we are biased sometimes. We only think about ourselves. Yes, but people who are also not young, You will be coming just to expound on the issues that affect all of us as Emburians or Mount Kenya people. So tomorrow we'll be having a very, very engaging day. We'll be opening these grounds at 9. Registration will be beginning at 9. So make sure, tafadhali, kesho, make sure you come with a friend and even an enemy. Hata akikuja aende majua kuache, itakuwa mzuri mtakuwa muondokewa na shida moja. Ngoja mwambie aende uko mahali ataenda tu akuondokee. Just come with that. Anybody you can be able to come with. Hata ule mtu unapiga taa unaona kama ako na form, shika yeye mkono, mwambie kuja nikupeleke hapa. So at least we can be able to gain this advantage that we've been brought to by these key organizations that have brought us this beautiful, beautiful event, so that all of us in Embu can benefit. Nataka wakati wa next elections watu wa Embu wakuwa wachache, wengi wako diaspora. So kesho gavana akiwaambia mtulie, msitulie. Watu wa Embu situnaenda? Situnaenda? Tunaenda ama tuendi? Tunaenda ama tuendi? Tunaenda? Good. Unaenda wapi? Maju wapi? Kwani be specific. Umepata ya wapi? Canada. Ule anaenda Canada. Unaenda wapi madam? Spain. Hiyo Spain sikuiona. Madam unaenda wapi? Huyu nakaa ni organizer. Pole. Umeniangalia vibaya. Gentleman unaenda wapi wewe? Hujapata bado, si ndio? Nione after this I'll be able to take you to a place that suits you. Unakaa mtu anaweza fanya kazi ya acha nisiseme. But I will look for a suitable job for you, at least an office job kidogo kidogo. Unajua sisi light skin hatupende kazi ngumu. Sasa undamtafutia kazi ya ofisi. Alafu we'll see what to do. I want all of us to be able to be engaged and to be able to get out of here with opportunities that will suit us and be beneficial for us, and not only us, also our generations that will be behind us. So tomorrow, kindly come early and come with a friend, so that we can be having an engaging and fruitful day for all of us. Please, don't take those opportunities for yourself alone. You have cousins, you have brothers, you have sisters, you have family members, you have neighbors. Please, wachanue. I've been posting here and there. And nawaambia niko diaspora jobs here and there. Unaniambia please just take a screenshot, piga picha 2-3, watumie. The opportunities are enough for everybody. So usikuwa ule mtu wa kushikilia opportunity usitaki kuambia mtu mwingine. Wewe unasikiaga tu watu wanasikiaga tu ulienda. Nani yako wapi siku hizi? Siku hizi yako Spain. Huwa Spain yako wapi? Hakuambia watu, hakuna mtu anajua. Najua tunakopa kurogo, lakini tafadhali tuambiane. Najua kuna watu nasikiaga wako na macho mbaya, unanyamaza mpaka ile siku utatoka ya mwisho. I understand that. But in the meantime, let us at least spread this gospel as much as possible. So without much further ado, I want to release us to our main business here. And the main business here is to look for opportunities. Not jobs only, opportunities. And opportunities are many here. And you can even find jobs awkwardly. Unaweza kuwa unafikiria unaenda majua alafu upate Mr. Kirago from Kirago Advocates. Umesikia akona CV, bado hajapata mtu. Unaweza pata unapata job kwa advocacy. So don't be limited. Hata unaweza ingia hapa upate kazi hapa kwa Huduma Center. Hata kama hao wengine walikuwa wananiambia niwapatie namba za majua. Sijui Huduma Center yenu kama itafungwa ama namna gani. Sababu karibu wote walikuwa wananiambia niwapatie namba za kuchomoka. So we are hoping that all of us will be sorted by the end of this fair tomorrow, and that will come with as many people as possible. We want to fill this place tomorrow. Let me not keep you for any more second. Let me declare that we have officially closed our panel discussion, which was the main agenda of this afternoon. Let me release you to just go and interact with the various private exhibitors and private recruiters that are there. We have over 27. Yesterday we had around 18. Leo pia wamesikia kuna watu wengine wamekuja wengi wakaongezeka kama 8, and they have been sharing. And yesterday I even shared a list on the various recruiters. And let me even do that today, if you allow me for 3 minutes, so that I can make your work easy. The various tents that are here. The tent number 1, of course, they are mixed, but just go and just interact with them. Tent number 1, as by yesterday, we had fecundity that takes nurses to the United States, and it is sponsored. It is direct line. They don't charge. Tent number 2, we have Genesis Cruise Services. These ones take hospitality, mfanya mambo hospitality, mambo ya hoteli, photography, finance. They also no charges. Lakini kazi yao ni ya cruise ship. ya kwenda na meli. So you need to know how to swim, I think. And then tent number 3 is Imal Solutions Limited. They're looking for caregivers and beauticians for Saudi Arabia. They also train as well, and they don't have charges. They only require passports. As by yesterday, they had, I think, applied for over 25 people here who are here for passports in Upper Embu. Nachukua tu details zao, wako na watu wao wa cyber wanakuapplyia, and then you only require a passport and a good conduct. Wanakupeleka uende ukakuwa caregiver or beautician in Saudi Arabia. And number 4 is Universal Trend Limited. They are looking for nurses, hospitality people. They charge a little bit of money, but you interact with them, and they say it's negotiable. Mjana muonge now. Now, tent number 5 is Skyways Global Services Limited. They're looking for hospitality for Kuwait and Dubai, and then also looking for technical people who can do technical jobs. Hizi nimewambia ziko hapa katikati over 48 institutions. Just go and learn what technical jobs are for Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and they're also looking for caregivers and security guards and drivers for Qatar, Dubai, and Saudi Arabia. Tent number 6, we have A&J Global, looking for nurses for US and Canada. This is direct line. Direct line inamaanisha hakuna kupangwa. Ni wewe na client direct. So if you're a nurse and if you know a nurse, if you also can inject, these days we learn through YouTube. You can become a nurse through YouTube. We survive when in Kenya. You go and saidia hawa watu. And then they're also looking for construction and drivers for Saudi Arabia, and cleaning jobs for metro trains, young ladies. I think pia Mr. Kiptum alikuwa anaiongelea hapa, and it is true, si ndio? Si umesema wako wameenda wangapi? 20. They are the same recruiters, I think. So at least Mr. Kiptum can bear me witness. Si hata kama in land ya Mogoka, si stories za jaba, si ndio? Ni ukweli. And then tent number 7, you have Diaspora Recruiters. This one is housing 20 recruitment agencies. So ukiingia tapale useme natafuta kazi ya, ulisema unafanya course gani? Nuclear science. Hiyo umesikia mahali? Hiyo ni kama itakuwa tricky kidogo. Kuja next year. Tukitafuta kazi za skilled, ndakuambia, you take my number. Other jobs, all I'm saying is any other job, but including nuclear science, just go to them. Waambie I'm doing nuclear science, I'm looking for a job. Hapa Kenya kidogo hatuna nuclear, so nitafutie kazi huko nje. They will assist you. They are housing over 20 recruitment agencies. Tent number 8. Tent number 8, we have Job Class International Limited. They're also housing Hillside College, looking for caregivers and house helps for Germany, Italy, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, and any other professional job. Tent number 9, we have Royal Prince Agencies, looking for hospitality and technical jobs for Qatar. They're also looking for carpenters, plumbers. Na carpenters, mtu yangu, hakuna mtu hapa ajui kutengeneza na mbao, hata ule jamaa ananiangalia pale. Kuja tu hapa kwa TVET tukupatie RPL haraka haraka. Wewe unda kitu hapo tukupatie exam haraka haraka, tukupatie certificate. Wewe kuja apply hii kazi. Usikose kazi ya timu. You just come and do something here. Unda mbao hapa kiti haraka haraka, waone uko na idea, nikupatie certificate, wewe uende huku kunaitwaje? Kunaitwa Germany. Uende upambane na maisha yako kama Mkenya, Italy, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, and any other professional job. Tent number 9, we have Royal Prince Agencies. They're looking for hospitality and technical jobs for Qatar. And, sorry, that one I already said. And then tent number 10, we have Joytom Manpower, looking for truck drivers, female gym instructors. Kama huyo anatoka anakaa mtu wa gym, unaweza enda huko. They're looking for office cleaners and tea girls. Kuserve chai mtu yangu. Kuserve chai tu unapata hapo 80,000. Surely kuserve chai ni kitu ya kushindwa. Mr. Kiptum. Hiyo si kitu ya kushindwa, si ndio? Just go and serve and factory ya kuunda sweetie. Men, this one require men. Just go and make sweets. They will teach you. Enda huko tu wewe sema unaweza tutakufunza kuunda sweetie. This one is Joytom Manpower. Tent number 10. Tent number 11, you have Azua Smart Agency. They are looking for housekeepers. Wewe pia unaangalianga nyumba yako. Kama housekeepers ndio gani? I don't know. You just go and consult. Hospitality, but I know those ones who have studied for those courses know what I mean. Hospitality is very broad. Bartenders, what? Just if you're hospitable, just go and see them. Simambo hospitality lakini. Drivers, construction, caregivers, plumbing, and forklift for Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Qatar, Turkey, Poland. Watakupeleka huko kote. And then tent number 12 is just pet agencies. They're looking for cleaners and drivers and securities. This most of them are unskilled. Hata kama umesomea course yako unasikia kwanza tu uende, because some of these skilled job even in Kenya utaandikwa kazi hapa kama engineer na unapatiwa 40,000 na huko unaandikwa kama cleaner unapatiwa 80,000. Wacha kuangalia kazi. Wewe chomoka na hii na machuo, si ndio? Jipange na do. Hii hapa ya kwanza kuwa Kenya, majirani wako hapo, si brother yako anakupigia simu huko, simu wazingiangi, una save. Hapa kila mtu anakupigia simu, hata mshahara wako kidogo haikusaidii. Tent number 13, we have Silvery HR. We have building, healthcare, hospitality. They're looking for building or builders, masons, healthcare, hospitality, and general labor. Like what it is hapa. Sisi wote ni watu wa general labor. We can do anything. We can general labor, just go and see them for Qatar, Iraq, those two countries. Tent number 14, we have Satman Tech Limited. Looking for cleaners, construction, administrators, housekeepers, caregivers for Qatar, Saudi, Kuwait, Turkey, and Dubai. Tent number 15, we have Athuri Global. Looking for caregivers, social workers, community development for Canada. And they also train you for that. Tent number 16, we have 4 companies that are looking for drivers, housemaids, security, masons for Middle East and Europe, Germany, and Turkey. Tent number 17, we have Unida Mago agencies looking for drivers, security, cleaners, front office, and waitresses for Middle East, Canada, US, and Mauritius. Tent number 18, we have Monisa Company Limited looking for caregivers for the UK, USA, and Canada. Na hii kazi ya caregivers, I think, is only 3 to 6 months. You are given a certificate. You train you for 3 and 6 months, and you have a certificate, and you go. Highly direct line. Our direct line, sure bet, unaenda huko, especially for UK, US, and Canada. Also looking for drivers for Saudi Arabia. For drivers, kwa waliniambia ni highlight. It is free. Welcome to. We kuja tu. If you can drive kakao, anyone crazy, enda huko atakupatia kazi. Number 20, number 19, Mombasa Ocean Agencies. And Kenya National Shipping Line, there are 2 that are being held in tent number 19, looking for hospitality, electricians, wipers, and cooks. This one is majorly for cruise ship. Hii iko kwa cruise ship. Na wanasema no charges at all. Tent number 20, Manpower Reliance Limited, looking for skilled and unskilled. Any skill or unskilled that you have or don't have, looking for you for Europe, Middle East, and Asia. Tent number 21 is known as TDM International Limited, looking for security, cleaners, drivers, laborers for Qatar, Saudi Arabia. Tent number 22 is IQ Partners, looking for security, drivers, caregivers, cleaners for Gulf countries. Hawa watu ni wengi watu wangu, si ndio? Hata mate yangu kidogo inaisha na maji niliacha pale. But these people are many. I think I have up to, but let me just finish. Tent number 23 is Anyiro Limited, for looking for plumbers, cleaners, waiters, electricians for Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Tent number 24 is Premier Maritime. They train for hospitality, safety training. If you want to work in a cruise ship, these are the people that you see. And then tent number 25, which is the last one on this side. Tunaanzia number 1 huko. Far right, hiyo ndio number 1, ukienda hivyo zimeandikwa hapo juu. Tukirudi hivi. 25, Bingo Services. These ones, they offer pre-departure training. They just give you life skills, soft skills to be able to survive there. And it's for free. You get to online program and they teach you. And they also have people that they've been able to partner with to give you jobs. So ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the very many recruitment agencies that we have here. So jana kuna mtu nilikuwa nasema jana alikuwa ananiambia ni mconnect. Sikwasi uniconnect. Hapa utaji connection. You don't require any tolanko, uhitaji ongo. Just go and talk to some of these people. It just requires your confidence na kujituma kidogo, and you'll be able to be assisted. Ladies and gentlemen, so that you don't forget where you're going, let me release you. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Let us kindly visit these tents. They are waiting for us. I know they were hearing me through the microphones, and you have taken note of where you're beginning with. And these people will be here till tomorrow. So don't fret. Tomorrow at 9.
At the Mount Kenya East Diaspora Fair. And with me is the chairman of KATI and the chief principal of the Nyeri National Polytechnic, Mr. Mwangi. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, I would like by asking you about the whole event. State of Department of TVET is one of the organizers of this event. Is it, to you so far, is it successful or?
Thank you. Once again, I'm David Mwangi, the Chief Principal Nyeri National Polytechnic, and also the National Chair, Kenya Association of Technical Training Institutions. We are at Moi Stadium, Embu, and we are having our second job fair that has been taking place in Mount Kenya region. We started in Meru, and now we are in Embu. And I want to say that this event is quite successful because we have over 40 recruiters for those people who want to go and work outside Kenya. And we have also brought 40 technical training institutions and national polytechnics in this event so that we can be able to twin the people who are recruiting and also the people who are providing the service of training. Thank you.
Okay, just to ask, is there maybe a foreseeable partnership between the TVETs, various TVETs and agencies to ensure that those graduating from TVETs get these diaspora jobs?
Thank you. The way we have structured this show is that we have the TVET institutions are the people who are training. We have the recruiters and the people who are telling us the jobs that they are actually recruiting. They are currently recruiting as we talk. And then we have the State Department of Immigration. We have the State Department of Diaspora. And what we are saying is that for us to be able to have our youth working in foreign countries, all these state agencies must work together. For sure, the technical training institutions, they have been able to pull a kind of arrangement whereby from this event, we'll be able to come up with a memorandum of understanding with most of the job recruiters. As I stand here, I can say that previously, Nyeri National Polytechnic had already drawn 3 MOUs with the recruiters. And we expect that all the other polytechnics and all the other technical training institutions, they are going to take the advantage and be able to do an MOU. I want also to say that the students that are here, we are also bringing our students who are finalists. And I can assure you that they have also been able to apply for these jobs. And once they finish, they can be able to have a link from where they can be able to follow up with the recruiters. Thank you.
Okay, because most of the agencies here, the requirements or the jobs they are offering in the diaspora, they mainly touch on TVET or vocational trainings. Is there any foreseeable future for those that have studied professional, maybe courses?
When you look at the jobs in the world, in every economy, we require engineers and also we require artisans. And what is happening here, what we have observed is that most of the recruiters, they are recruiting at artisan levels, but you would expect as we move and as we open this space, you'll be able to recruit at higher job groups. So we expect all the engineers, the degrees, who have got the technical know-how, they also be able to benefit from these recruitments. And I want to say that when it comes to marine, we have quite a good number of Kenyans who are being recruited as marine engineers in maritime areas. So maybe it's what is being on offer currently, but we actually have people who are being recruited at degree levels. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing that we are getting close to the centenary celebrations of the TVET, is this one of the milestones that we'll be celebrating in that event?
The year 2024, according to UNESCO, is the year of education. And it also happens that in Kenya, it is also the year that we are celebrating 100 years of TVET. And we have agreed as CATI and also with the part of the State Department and our peers, Dr. Moria, that this year we must shout about TVET. And this is one of the activities that we are showing over and above training. We can also be able to direct those graduates to be able to get the jobs. So this year, we have so many activities that have been actually celebrating the 100 years of TVET in Kenya. This one is one of them. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. Lastly, a call to all the other young people or those studying in TVET institutions who have not found interest in this fair. What is your call to them?
When we start this kind of a job fair, One, after this, we are going to have a follow-up. And the kind of follow-up we are going to have is that we have picked all the contacts of the recruiters, and we are going to share with all our TVET institutions. And we're also going to have a platform whereby we'll be able to be posting the jobs that are being available at a particular time. So we expect that this is the beginning of a collaboration with the recruiters and our TVET institutions. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to say this, where we are, the State Department of TVET, under the stewardship of our PS, Dr. Moria, we are actually hosting the other state departments, because that's the reason why you see that all of us here as a TVET institutions, we are 40, trying to tell the recruiters this is what we are doing in our institutions. So the State Department of Diaspora, we need them because they are supposed to source the jobs. We have the State Department of Labor, we need them because the diaspora should give the labor the jobs to the labor. We have the National Employment Authority, they should also be able to tell us who are the genuine recruiters because they are the people who are registering the recruiters. We have the Department of Immigration, they must also be able to assist our young people to be able to get the passports. So we are working as one team, but we are the people who are in need because it is us who want to know where the students we are training, our graduates, where they can be able to work in the world. Thank you.